Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining me today for the Blogging as a Business webinar. I always want to make sure that you guys know how grateful I am that you are giving me your time to show up today, to be engaged in this presentation. So I'm going to do my best to serve you all, to provide you guys with some education and some inspiration and all of the things. So a little bit about me for those of you who don't know me. My name is Katie Dodd and I run my own business. I am in my 5th month as a full-time entrepreneur. I've been a dietitian for over 13 years and my business is made up of a couple different things. First off, this brand dietitian side hustle where I talk all about starting side hustles, and then I help dietitians with blogging because it really is the side hustle that's near and dear to my heart. I have the geriatric dietitian. That is my first blog, one that I'll be talking a lot about today. And then I have my food blog, High Calorie Recipes. So who am I? I'm a blogger, I'm a speaker, I'm a mentor, and I'm a leader within the field. So I would love to know who is here today. Go ahead and let me know where you're coming from. I know we have people from all across the US, sometimes people from other countries, our friends in Canada. So go ahead and put in the chat box where you're from. And for me, guys, I live in Southern Oregon, like not Portland. I'm about 4 hours south of Portland. I think when people hear Oregon, they think Portland, but I'm actually closer to California. I'm like a hop, skip, and a jump from California. And I grew up in Northern California. Okay. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of you commenting. Okay. So we have Marie from New York, Lauren from Texas. We have Brittany from Washington. Ooh, another Pacific Northwest friend. Claire from Chicago. I love Chicago. Claudia from LA. Emily from Springfield. Raquel from Florida. I'm going to be in Florida in a couple of weeks myself. We have, let's see, Texas, Maryland, Georgia, North Carolina. I love it. We have people from all over. So this is great. Southern Oregon. Yay. Awesome. Ontario, Canada. Awesome. Well, again, thank you all so much for being here today. For those of you who are watching this on the replay, I'm so glad that you're here as well, taking the time to watch this. I know sometimes we sign up for something with the best intentions, but then life gets busy and we never do the thing. So if you, first off, for you who attended live, amazing. But for those of you who came back and took the time to watch this replay, amazing as well. So this presentation, I always say it's going to be about an hour, but if I'm honest, it's going to be a little bit longer than an hour. I was looking at how many slides I have and it's kind of ridiculous, but I have so much that I want to share with you guys. So what to expect over the next slightly over an hour is you're going to learn about how you can blog as a business, bringing in multiple streams of income on your own time from the comfort of your own home without seeing patients. And I always say, or in addition to, because if you want to work with patients, you could do that too. But one of the beautiful things about blogging is that it's so flexible and you don't have to work with patients. And I know there's a lot of dietitians out there who you see patients in your full-time job in your private practice, and you just have zero interest in seeing them outside of that situation, which was where I was when I started my side hustle. So what is on the agenda today? So we're doing our introduction now. I'm going to share with you guys my story. I'm going to share the nitty-gritty details. I'm going to talk about money, all the things behind the scenes with my blog business, just so you can see what it looks like behind the curtain. We're going to go over how a blog actually makes money. We're going to talk about the 3 steps to start, then some next steps, and then we're going to do a drawing at the end. And this is really to recognize those of you who are on live and those of you who stay to the end. I'm going to be doing a drawing for my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course, and maybe something else. And then we will have time at the end for Q&A. So what's coming your way? After we're done, I'm going to download this video, and because it's going to be a little longer, it'll take a while to download. Then I'm going to upload it to the cloud, and I'll be sending you all an email. It's going to have the replay for this. If you want to go back and like, what were those numbers Katie was sharing again? And you want to rewatch, you can. But then also I've created some notes for you, these little webinar notes. It's kind of a infographic style thing, which summarizes all the key points about what we're talking about today. And then because I love a good checklist, I do have the blogging checklist, which has the 3 steps to start that I will be sending to you after we are done. So is blogging for you? You guys, what I love about blogging is that, actually, I'm going to minimize some stuff so I can see my screen. What I love about blogging is that it is a low cost business, which anyone can tackle. It's not like businesses where if you're going to do brick and mortar and you have to find a space, you have to rent, you have to pay all of these big bills. Having an online business like a blog is really affordable, and it's something that anyone can tackle. But I will say it does take time and intention. So what I want to do is, as we go through this, I'm going to provide some education and information for you guys, but I do want you to know that the opportunities for dietitians, RDs to be, NDTRs, and healthcare professionals online are limitless. Limitless opportunities, not just to make impact, but also to make money. So thank you guys all so much for being here again. And I'm going to be asking as we go for you guys to comment and engage, because the more we type, the more we engage, the more present we're going to be, the more we're going to remember all of the things. And I am going to do my best to cram as much as I can into this one-ish hour presentation. And I know that the information will be helpful for you guys, but I also know that some of you are going to be like, okay, Katie, I got it. Tell me more. I need you to help me more on this journey. So I will be offering a offer at the end for those of you who are interested. So if that's okay with you, if I do an offer at the end, go ahead and comment okay and let me know. So let's see. Oh, we have Ruth from LA. A couple people from LA on. Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. So let me tell you the very brief version of my story. So I worked a full-time job that I loved for 13 years. I worked for the Department of Veteran Affairs doing home care. I had the privilege of working with veterans in their homes, and I loved my job. Now, I started side hustling about 7 years ago, and side hustling was amazing for me. I was like, wow, I'm making money. I love nutrition. It's a hobby, and this is so cool. I will tell you, I had no interest in seeing patients. I always thought to be an entrepreneur, I had to work with patients. And I was like, nope, don't want to do that. In the very beginning, I had very small goals. In 2019, not too long ago, my goal with my side hustle was to make $300 a month. I wanted to pay a bill. So, and you'll see as we go how my dreams have changed quite a bit. But the thing is I was spending my time and my talents building someone else's dreams. And I think that's how it goes. We're either going to be working for other people and building their business, or we could be working for ourselves and building our business. So I eventually learned how to blog as a business, and the game completely changed for me. So let's dive in and start talking about how to make money blogging, because I know this is a biggie where people are like, how on earth does that work? Because even for me, just a few years ago, I thought that a blog was your personal journey, like journal. You wrote about what you ate, what you did, your feelings on a certain subject, and your mom read it, your dad read it, your neighbor read it. But I didn't realize that it was a legitimate way to make money and run a business online. So let's talk about how to make money blogging. And I like presenting this concept to talk about how to make money. I want to emphasize this is oversimplified, very oversimplified, but I think it paints a good picture. So in order to make money and to be a business, you got to be making money. You need two things. You need something to sell and someone to sell it to. So this is how a blog makes money. The something to sell typically looks like this. You have ebooks to sell. You have digital handouts, digital goods. Maybe you have a course that you pre-recorded and someone can buy it. Affiliate income where you recommend other people's products. One big company is Amazon Associates. And if someone buys through your link, which you fully disclose that it's an affiliate link and you make a commission, but if someone buys through your link, you get a commission, a small one, but adds up. Ad revenue is a biggie. Again, I'm going to share numbers with you guys soon. But you could also be doing sponsored content, working with brands. You could do a bunch of different freelance work. So there's lots of ways that you can make money through a blog. So lots of things to sell. Now, I do want to take a moment to talk about passive income and active income. Active income is what we're typically taught in school. It is where we are trading time for money, hourly pay for hourly work. If you work a salary job, that's active income. You got to work to get paid that money. If you are a freelancer or an entrepreneur and you're doing a contract gig, you get a contract, you do the work. When you're done, you're paid one and done. Passive income is a little bit different. This is where you create something once, you have to market it, create systems to sell it, and then you sell it on autopilot. And we often call passive income money you make in your sleep. And I do love checking my phone in the morning to be like, I didn't work on my blog at all yesterday and I made a couple $100. It's the funnest thing. But the misconception about passive income, it's not like free money. It does take work, just a different kind of work. And I'll kind of explain to you as we go how that works with the blog. So the something to sell is the easiest part, honestly. I think as dietitians, we're really good at making a bang up course or like a good program or a good handout. But the hardest part is finding someone to sell it to. Like marketing can be so hard. But this is why I love the blog. I am able to make money through the blog, social media, and email marketing. Although I will say it's mostly the blog at this point. I really don't take advantage of those other pieces, which I probably should be doing more of. But a blog, if you guys are wondering, a blog article is something that comes up when you do an online search. We're going to talk more about this, so I'll get into the weeds of it later. So blogging is a long-term game. It can take the major search engines. I'm going to talk about Google a lot, but it can take them anywhere from 6 to 9 months to even pick up a brand new blog before you even have a chance of ranking on the first page of Google so people see your stuff. But it is an amazing way to reuse content for years to come, bring in massive traffic without posting every day and getting burnt out. You know, I see some dietitians on social media and they write a lot. And I'm like, man, that's so amazing. This is great content. But the way those algorithms work, not everyone who's following them is going to see it. And, you know, the reach is very small, and how the algorithms work, it's kind of here today, gone tomorrow. Unless someone goes and like stalks your social media and goes and scrolls back into old stuff, they're not going to see it again. And I see all this effort the dietitians put in spreading good information. And I think like, my goodness, if they were to repurpose this into a blog, blogs are longer than social media, but some of the dietitians' social media posts are long. But if you were able to repost it into a blog article, my goodness, that can be pulled up through a search engine every day. So anyways, I'm on a tangent there. So when it comes to the balance between having something to sell and someone to sell it to, I will say it's all about timing. Now, if you don't have an audience, no one's going to buy from you. You could have the best product to sell in the world, but if you don't have someone to sell it to, you're not going to have success. So I will say when it comes to the blogging game, the first objective is to build an audience, have people come into your blog, then over time, strategically build out income sources. And I will say too, that you might not even know what your audience really wants in the beginning. And over time, if you're serving your audience well, they're going to tell you what they want. You just have to listen. That's how I created my first paid product, actually. They asked for it. So, and we also don't want to be wasting our time creating products or services that no one wants to or will buy. So how I make money blogging is through multiple streams of income. And I'm going to talk about these streams of income and how I've built on them over the years. And the reason I want to share my timeline is I feel like this can look overwhelming. Like, okay, I got to publish a blog and I got to make digital goods and ebooks and I got to do courses and oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming. But let me break it down for you. So this is with my blog, The Geriatric Dietitian. I started it on my birthday, June 29th, 2019. Now, these are my income sources at the bottom. The ones in orange are passive income, meaning I built it once. As my traffic goes, I'm just making money by people coming to the site. So when I first started, I was making money through freelance writing and doing live webinars. I did make some money through on-demand webinars, meaning after it was live, if someone bought it later, I made like a few bucks. So I was making a little passive income in the beginning. When I started my website, I did open a store on RD2RD. It's a marketplace where you could sell digital goods, and I would link people from my blog to there to buy handouts. Now, I started doing some work for brands and companies because I always say, I'm not the only geriatric dietitian. I'm probably not the best geriatric dietitian. I'm good, but probably not the best. But I am the dietitian who pulls up when you search geriatric nutrition related topics. So by having a blog and a website, it does place me as an authority and give me opportunity to work with different brands and companies. So this timeline I'm showing you guys is in 6-month chunks. I'm going to talk about the first 2 years of my blog. So I'm supposed to share with you guys. Wait, I'm thinking out loud. I'm going to share with you guys 5-6 month chunks, but this is okay. I think I've got the right slides in here. So these lines mean a 6-month chunk, right? So about probably 7 or 8 months into my blog, I created my first e-cookbook because my audience asked for it. Then over summer, because I was having so much success with that product, I was like, I'm going to make an ebook. And then I made another e-cookbook. Because my website traffic was growing, people were finding me online and I was getting paid to do interviews. That's mostly with marketing companies. 17 months into the game, I qualified for ad revenue. I'm going to share those numbers and you'll see why ads were a game changer for me. And then the beginning of last year, I started with affiliate sales. I got connected with Amazon, and then I created a course. So let me show you kind of the breakdown of my income sources through my blog, breaking it down in active and passive income by year. In the beginning, I was mostly doing active income with my side hustle, but over time, I added more income streams. I heard a dietitian at a conference once say, the people who make the most money have the most streams of income. When she said that, I was like, okay, I need more streams of income. 2021, I added more streams of income. This was where I got ad revenue, affiliate sales, and courses, and I got rid of a couple. Although I want to say this loosely, I say I don't do live webinars, but I still do live webinars for a company called Dietitian Central because I love them. And it takes me an hour of my time, but I don't create new webinars to do for my brand. And I no longer freelance write, and I'll share a little bit about that later. So how I make money now is I do very little active income for the blog. Like I said, I do a couple live webinars per year. I seldom do work with brands and companies. They got to pay me enough for me to do that. And occasionally I'll do an interview, but not often. So as of right now, I have 5 primary income sources through the blog that are passive. So I'm going to stop sharing just really quickly because I want to make sure I am sharing the right slides. Yes, I am. Okay, back to sharing. I think I got thrown off because I had one wrong slide in there, but that's okay. I don't think it's going to impact it. So I want to take a moment to talk to you guys about why I started trying to create more passive streams of income and less active income. Remember, active income is where I'm trading time for money. Passive income means I create the things once. I work on building traffic to the blog. People come to the blog and I make money. So when I first was a side hustler, one of my first side hustles was contract work, doing freelance writing. I actually did a podcast on this. I think I posted it on Monday, but if you listen to the podcast I did on why I'm no longer a freelance writer, go ahead and comment me. I'd love to know if any of you on listened to that episode. So when I was a freelance writer, I was making about 10 cents per word. I did have some contracts where I made more, never less. But for the average blog article, I would make about $150 to write it. So I'd get a contract, I'd write that blog article and get paid $150. So looking back on income reports that I share on my website, Dietitian Side Hustle, I've been sharing them since 2019 when I started this brand. And in 2019, I made almost $4,000 in freelance writing. In 2020, I made a little bit less, but then in 2021, I made zero. And let me tell you why I made this shift to where I was doing freelance writing to doing none at all. And it all came down to blogging. So this actually is a little snippet of an article that I wrote on vitamin D in older adults. So I wrote this article and I got paid $150. And I will say in the beginning, I was like, woohoo, this is amazing. I'm making money. But here is with my blog, keeping in mind, my blog is almost 3 years old. I'm going to share more money more money details in just a minute. But this is one blog article on my website. This is the top performing blog article on my website. But in the past 30 days, through ad revenue alone, this one blog article made $441. And here's the deal. This is money that will continue to come in month after month as long as I maintain my blog. So looking at the picture of same time and energy to write 2 blog articles, writing for free, freelance writing, paid $150, writing for my blog, I can get paid so much more. Oh, Denise, you heard it. Yay, good. I was excited about that episode to share these numbers. So this is just a little snippet from some of the top performing articles on my blog and how much money they make through ad revenue. I'm with a company called Mediavine. And so my top articles 411, I have another, and you can kind of see them, but that's pretty darn good for one blog article for 30 days, knowing that money is going to be recurring month after month. Now traffic does go up and down with everything, but it's still, I hope you guys could see why it was way worth my time to write for my own blog versus writing for someone else. When I wrote for someone else, I got paid one and done. When I write for myself, I continue to make money. And then, I think I've got another slide in here. Oh, this one right here. This is just showing since I've qualified for ad revenue, December of 2020, I have one article that's made, actually at this point, it's made over $5,000. So again, I could have probably written the same article for someone else and been paid 150, but because I had my own business and wrote for my own blog over time, you could see how I was able to make so much more. So let's do a breakdown of those 6-month chunks I talked to you about. And I'm going to show you the real deal of what numbers look like with my blog business. Because again, blogging is a long-term game. We do not get rich quick with blogging, but hopefully you could see how there's this transition between not making a lot to, oh my gosh, this is amazing. For 6 months, I made $59. I know it's quite impressive, but I was very, very excited because it was passive income. I'm like, I made those handouts. I'm not doing any work. And I just checked my phone and I've made this money. So I was quite excited about that. The next 6-month chunk, I mentioned that I had my first paid product, well, big paid product. It was an e-cookbook. I sell it for $20. But again, it was something my audience asked for. So that's why I knew people were going to buy it. So in that next 6-month chunk, I made $744, which is a pretty big jump. The next 6-month chunk, I made another ebook and e-cookbook and more traffic to the website, which means more humans to buy my stuff. I made $2,000. Now here's the game changer. When I qualified for ad revenue, my fourth 6-month chunk, I made $15,000 on my blog, and you can see a majority of that was through ad revenue. The other income sources, they did continue to grow a little bit because, traffic was increasing. Let's see. So let me see here. So Joanne, the podcast was eye-opening. Freelance writing is a one-time pay. You get, if you get published on your own blog, you keep making money. Yep. It's just a different way to think about things. And I did freelance writing for a long time, but it's a balance. And again, why I love blogging as a business, because you can make so much more for the same work. So this is the fifth 6-month chunk. I feel like that sounds confusing, but I sure hope if this is making sense, comment makes sense in the comments. I need to make sure that when I share this, it makes sense, that I'm like the fifth 6-month chunk, but the fifth 6-month chunk, I made $23,000 in passive income. Now we're kind of in the middle of a chunk right now. I'm 4 months into the year, and so far I've made $18,000. I'm on track to exceed the previous 6-month chunk. Okay, you guys get me. Okay, good. I feel like it's a tongue twister. So here is looking at that timeline again with the correct slide with the 5 6-month chunks. At the bottom, you can see when I created these different income sources. I haven't created anything new for a year. And I also want to emphasize too, when you see all the things I sell, I didn't create them overnight. I'm a quarterly goal setter. So I set goals for every 90 days. So you can kind of see like where my goals were each time, like the big chunks. So like getting my website started, my first paid product, ad revenue, course. And then now it's just keep doing it, keep bringing in the money. So let's see here. Okay. So how are people finding me? Because I think that's an important piece of the puzzle here. So this is looking at 2 years worth of data. So as of right now, I will say traffic does go up and down, but my blog has consistently been getting over 100,000 sessions per month. Think of a session like a human coming to the website. I don't want to dig into this, but I just want to share, I do have some traffic on social media, but very little of my traffic to my website comes from these sources. So this right here is a table that shows the traffic to my website from start to 2 years in. I mentioned blogging is a long-term game. It took my website about 9 months to start ranking on Google, but then you could see it just continued to go up. And so that's how people are finding me. I do want to present another perspective about passive income. So this is looking at the passive income that I made last year through the blog. So if we think about how much money a dietitian makes, we know that the median salary for a dietitian, according to the Academy's Comp and Benefit Survey, is $33.65 an hour. So last year I made $39,000 in passive income through the blog in 12 months. So let's think of, if I was trading time for money, how much time would that have taken me? So it would have taken me 1,163 hours total. That would have been 97 hours per month, or roughly 24 hours per week, to make the same money that I was making passively through the blog. Now, I love passive income because it offers time freedom and financial freedom. You're able to make money without having to exclusively trade time for money. It's wonderful if I'm sick or if I'm on vacation to know that my blog is still working for me and making money. Now, the time that I put into the blog, because I think that's an important piece to consider too, my blog was a side hustle. I would say the maximum, these are maximum numbers. In the beginning was 5 to 7 hours per week. Some weeks I didn't do anything, but I would say average would be 5 to 7 hours per week. What I'm doing now at this point is maybe 5 to 7 hours per month. I will say that I just hired a blog manager who's so amazing. She's a dietitian who was looking for an opportunity to work virtually. I'm so excited to work with her. And so really at this point, because I'm hiring someone to do this for me, I'll probably not be doing much work at all in the blog. So what I'm trying to explain is in the beginning with the blog, you do some work, not a ton, but you still have to work and you're not making money. Over time, you have the shift. You have lots of traffic, you are making money, and now you're working less and making more. And it's a beautiful shift. So I do share passive income reports on my Instagram page, Dietitian Side Hustle, and my Facebook group, Dietitian Side Hustle. If you are following my Instagram or in the Facebook group, go ahead and comment IG or FB and let me know that you're in those communities, because I know you guys are coming from all over. So this is just a little snippet here, and I'm really excited because the last 7 months in a row, my blog has made over $4,000 in passive income. Oh, yay. Okay. You guys are following. Cool. Awesome. So if you guys are following me on IG, you've probably seen my dance journey. That's been fun. So I'll continue to be sharing these as I move forward with the blog. So if you're not following me on social, you can start following me. So those are the numbers, but I want to share with you guys, in my opinion, the best part about blogging as a business for me, having the opportunity to reach lots of people, amazing. Having the opportunity to make passive income, amazing. But here's been the best part. I started this blog journey. I started making passive income. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I need to help other dietitians do this. So I now have a program where I help other dietitian bloggers. And because of all the work that I've been doing in my business and the doors that blogging has opened up for me, I was able to turn in my letter of resignation at the end of last year. Now, I mentioned I worked at the VA, and I feel like a lot of people don't leave the VA. My intention was to work there until I was 68 and a half and retire with my pension. That was the plan. That was the dream. That was the vision, until entrepreneurship and blogging changed the game for me. So this picture here is me turning in my letter of resignation to my boss, Steve. He was so nice to like take a selfie with me when I turned it in. This is a picture of me on my very last day. This is the end of December 2021. And you can probably tell I'm glowing a little bit, completely terrified, but so surreal because I never anticipated leaving my full-time job. But here's the best part. The best part is this picture right here. This is Emily. This is my daughter. Over here, you can't see him, but my 11-year-old son, Gavin, is over here. Now, when I was working at the VA, I worked for 10-hour days. So I worked from 6:30 to 5 o'clock every day. And I was never able to bring my kids to school. And I know it's a small thing. And to some people, it may seem like a silly thing, but I wanted to drive my kids to school. That was really important to me. I have a vision board over here on the board, and I actually had a clip art that I put up there of some dad dropping his kid off at school and waving. And I put that on my vision board because that was a big part of my why and what I was working for in my business. Is I wanted to be more present with my kids, and I wanted to be able to drive them to school. And this is what blogging and this business has done for me, is it gave me the opportunity to, the Monday after I quit my job, I dropped them off and I'm like, okay, I want to replicate this picture. My son, he's 11. There was no way he was going to be waving for his mama in the school drop-off line, but he's there. He's back there in spirit. And so of course my daughter, she's so like, yay, hi mom. She's still, hugs and holding hands and all of those things. But for me, this was the most important part, is that blogging gave me time freedom. It gave me financial freedom. It gave me the opportunity to be more present with my family. It gave me the opportunity to help and serve more dietitians and do what God put me on this earth to do. So let me tell you what I've learned through this journey of blogging as a business. What I've learned is our greatest limitation is ourselves. We could do anything, and I know that sounds cheesy, but it is so true. You're either going to spend your time building your dreams or someone else's. I also learned that it takes significant investments to make money. I actually dropped a podcast episode today all about that. I learned that I needed to think and act like a business owner. I needed to take action and be willing to be imperfect. And I also learned that there are limitless opportunities online. I'm still a small drop in the bucket of water when it comes to my business online. And the opportunity to continue reaching people and to continue making money is just It's limitless. I will tell you my goal with the geriatric dietitian is to have 1 million people visiting every month. And I know that's possible. So that's the direction we're going. So, okay, let me look at the comments. So Marie, our kids are the same age. Oh, yay. Awesome. Angie, that's important to you too. Lucy, it's huge. Yeah, it's been so huge. Shannon, yeah. Awesome. Thanks, guys. So my discovery on this journey is that it was my mindset and my obliviousness on how to build my own business. They were holding me back from my biggest dreams and the ability to make massive impact in this world. Even freelance writing, while it was such a blessing, the moment of I'm getting paid $150 now was holding me back from recognizing, man, look at how much more I can make later, and look at how much impact that can make in my life and for other people. And I often share that my entire journey from side hustler to full-time entrepreneur, it hasn't been about working harder. It hasn't been about grinding myself out. It hasn't been, grinding the midnight oil. It's really been all about changing my mindset. So I'm curious for you guys, what is holding you back from your biggest dreams and the ability to make massive impact in this world? I believe that each and every one of you have a dream in your heart, an idea in your head. And if we can just get it out and break down those limiting beliefs that you have in your minds, my goodness, you can change the world. So I want you guys to take a minute to imagine. I want you to think, okay, you're looking back 2 years from now, and you're in a place where you are achieving your dreams. You're making money, you're making impact, and you're living the life you always wanted. I could tell you I'm there now. And I talk about setting big, audacious goals a lot. And I feel like even the goals I set for myself, while they were big and they were audacious, the dream that I am actively living now is so much bigger than what I could have even imagined. Leaving my full-time job was not even, I think it was like a deep down dream, but it wasn't something I realistically thought that I could do. So, oh guys, we're going to go over an hour. I'm looking at the time. Okay, I'm going to try to talk. I already talk fast. We'll just keep going, right? And if you guys have to hop off, catch the replay when we finish. So let's get started. Let's learn how to blog as a business, bringing in multiple streams of income on your own time from the comfort of your own home without seeing patients. So I want to present this pyramid to you because this is about keys to success for blogging. And this is kind of like where people are in the scheme of the blogging world. Now we have, I use these terms like dietitian to be, RD to be. So we have a blogger to be, a blogger, a blog employee, and a blog boss. So at the bottom of this pyramid, we have those who, and maybe this is you right now, maybe you're like, oh man, I want to start a blog. I want to create passive income streams, but you just don't know what your niche would be or even how to get started. Maybe you already have a blog. Maybe you've hit publish, but you're still figuring out how in the heck do I get people to come to my website? Now, maybe you're a blog employee. You're starting to make money, but you want to continue to grow and scale more passive income. You're still trading time for money. You're still mostly doing active income, and you're still kind of working for your blog versus it working for you. Now, at the top of the pyramid, that's the dream state. And this is where you are the blog boss. You have a successful blog with multiple streams of income. You're now making more and working less. So how do you move up this pyramid? How do you move up those stages? Now, if you are a blogger to be, you got to discover your path and you have to figure out how to build a blog. If you are already a blogger, you need to learn how to grow your blog. That is SEO. We're going to talk about that. And you need to learn how to build multiple streams of income. Remember, to make money, we need something to sell and someone to sell it to, the two things. So to move up from the blog employee, you need to have motivation, consistency, and community. I will tell you, it is so easy to start a blog and to be so motivated and be like, yes, I'm going to do this. But the days are long. And when you are blogging consistently and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not building traffic. This worked for Katie, but this is never going to work for me. Who do I think I am? And that doubting voice gets in our head. It can be so easy to give up. Maintaining motivation is hard, but that's something you need to do if you want to have long-term success. And a lot of that is by having the right community around you. Now, to continue to become the blog boss, you also would need to automate, systemize, and potentially hire, depending on how big you want to grow. And I will say at the top, I don't really think there's like an end. Honestly, I feel like there's summits and we continue to grow, right? You do have to continue to grow and invest in yourself. So let's see here. So my blog manager, Marie, I've just hired her for 10 hours per week. So right now she is She's writing about 1 blog article per month, and she's managing the website, keeping it updated, doing some of those admin tasks. I also work with a lot of dietetic interns and students. And so she is taking those blog articles, editing them, getting them online. She's going through all of my articles and making sure they're on the first page of Google. If not, doing some work to try to get them on the first page of Google. So that's what she's doing now. She's not just a blog writer. She actually initially was a blog writer for me. And we had very similar voices. I'm like, oh, I love it when you write for me. And so this opportunity just came to be, and we'll kind of see where it comes. My goal and my vision would be to eventually get to a point where I'm paying her full time, but that's the dream. Okay, so let's talk about moving up the pyramid and what are some of the challenges for success. So I would say there are 3 biggies that can get in the way for you moving up that pyramid. Number 1, you just don't know what you want to do. You don't know what your niche is going to be. Like, there are so many things we could do as dietitians. You have no idea what you possibly would want to blog about. And you just don't know, how would I actually make money blogging? Number 2, you don't know how to do it. Tech is overwhelming. We went to school to become healthcare professionals and not computer designers or website designers. You don't know the strategy on how to build a blog business, and you don't have the business skills that you need. So if you combine number 1 and number 2, and you throw in the infamous perfectionism, it leads to overwhelm and inaction. So we are going to talk about the 3 steps to start, and I'm breaking it down easy peasy. Discover, develop, do it. So when it comes to discover, this is discovering what you want to do. You need to learn what's possible and uncover your niche. We're going to talk about all these briefly. Develop. You need to learn how to do it. You need to learn how to build and grow your blog and act and think and act like a CEO, right? A business owner. And then you need to do it. You need to overcome what makes you stuck. You need to be willing to take imperfect action. So let's dive into each of these. So step 1, discover. The problem is you just don't know what you want to do. And again, I get it. There are so many things you potentially could do. But if you want to get through that, if you want to find the solution, you need to learn what's possible, discover your passion, and pick your path. You have to make a decision and then take action. I always tell people, you're not married to your niche, but you want to give it a good engagement period, right? You could always change. But the thing is you have to pick something and move forward. People can spend years sitting on an idea because they're stuck, because they don't know if they want to do this or this. My advice, just do it. You can always pivot down the line, right? So I'm going to give you guys a couple of practical tips about picking a niche. This is like, we could talk a whole hour on this, so I don't want to spend too long, but just to get you guys thinking about what your niche could be. Think about a couple of things. Number 1, what are you good at? Now, this could be something you already do. It could be your specialty, and it could also be what comes really easy to you. I started my blog, The Geriatric Dietitian, because I was a geriatric dietitian. I was a board certified specialist in gerontological nutrition. That was my specialty. And I would say that the biggest part of my blog, it really focuses on stopping unintended weight loss, preventing malnutrition. And honestly, I was really good at helping older adults gain weight. Like, that came easy to me. So that is really why I landed on the geriatric dietitian. So another piece would be what you're passionate about. Some of you are working a job that you are so grateful for, but it was just what happened to be available where you wanted to live, and it had the right pay so you could support your family, right? So you might be doing a job or doing a specialty that is not your passion, and you're like, this is great for my job, but I don't want to blog about it. Do I have to? No, you can blog with what you're passionate about. You can pick a niche that has to do with maybe it's the reason you became a dietitian. Maybe it's that thing that sparked in you, the thing you always wanted to do. I think sometimes we get stuck in our heads on, if I'm not actively doing the thing or I'm not the expert, I can't do this as a blog. But I want to challenge that belief, because there's a lot of people out there who are not credentialed, who are blogging about health, spreading incorrect information, and they are doing it with confidence. We are healthcare professionals, dietitians. We know where to go to get the correct information, to find the right resources, right? So you could pick your niche based on what you're passionate about. So if you dream big, if you could do anything, what would it be? And then also you can pick your niche based on what people want or need. So do your market research, ask around. And I will say one thing is, don't be afraid to niche down. Some people are worried, if I niche down too far, I'm going to lose out on other people. Don't worry about who you're going to lose out on. Focus on who you're going to find, because other people are going to find you anyways. I focus on geriatric nutrition. But do you know who's coming to my website for high calorie content? Bodybuilders, athletes, cancer patients, So many people who are not older adults are coming to my website. So focus on who you're going to serve. Other people still might come, but just, I think people get too worried about niching down too far. And I guess it's possible, but I haven't seen it yet. So, okay, that's a lot of me talking, but I want you guys to share now. So what is your passion? If you had a blog, what would your niche be? And you're not committing to anything. I don't want you to overthink it. What is your first thought? If I was to tell you like, okay, we're making a blog for you now, what do you think that you would put down as your niche? Ooh, digestive health, Kate. I'm going to keep talking, but then I'm going to come back and read this. So step number 2, develop. The problem is you don't know how to do the thing. The solution, I feel like this sounds really easy, but I mean, it is what it is, right? The solution is you got to learn how to build the blog, how to grow your blog, and how to learn business skills. So we're going to talk about some of these things as I look at the blogs you guys want to make. Yee. Okay, so Kate, digestive health, Claire, prenatal and women's health, Raquel, diabetes education, women's health, diet book reviews, ooh, childhood nutrition, pediatric and keto for epilepsy. Oh, yes, we need a lot of, we need more dietitian bloggers to drown out all the incorrect information. Weight loss, picky eating, disabilities, neurodivergent, physical disabilities, etc., pediatric or plant-based. Awesome. Thanks, Lucy. I'm glad you're able to hop on. I'll send out the replay soon. Weight loss or oncology. Awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. I have vision and I could just see all of these potential blogs that are going to come to fruition. It makes me really excited. At the very end, I'm going to share a little bit about kind of my vision and dream on why I want more dietitian bloggers. So let's talk about how to build a blog, because I feel like this part can be confusing. So there are pre-made done for you websites that are kind of plug and play. Think of Wix, Squarespace, WordPress.com. If your goal is to blog like I blog, to get ad revenue, to build these multiple streams of passive income, I do recommend having a self-hosted website on WordPress.org. Let me explain to you what that's going to look like. And I have pictures, and I'm going to hopefully make this easy to understand by using the analogy of a house. So the first thing you need to build a blog is you need to create a domain name. That's the URL. Think of it as your street address on the internet. It tells people where you live. Mine is the geriatricdietitian.com. Now, that's number 1. Number 2 is you need to secure a website host. This is the land where your website will live on the internet. I recommend SiteGround as a good one to start with. There's other companies that are good. So you have your street address, you have your land, then you need a content management system. This is WordPress.org. Think of this as the frame of your home, the space in the rooms that your content will be arranged in, but it's still like the bones of a house. It's not pretty yet. So number 4 is you need to get a theme. You select a theme, and this gives you like the look and feel of your website. It makes it look pretty. So you now have a welcoming home on the internet. But that's not enough. You need to learn SEO. You need to make sure that people can find you online. If you guys remember phone books, think of SEO as the phone book. And then from there, it's still not done. You need to make sure you plan your content. You now have a website home, but you want to be a good host. You want to plan out quality content and post consistently. So putting this into the picture again, you need a domain name, a website host, a content management system, a theme, learn SEO, and plan out your content. So these are some of the tools that I use: Google domains for my website names, SiteGround for hosting, WordPress.org, not to be confused with .com, for content management, Astra for a theme. There's a free version. I do use the paid one, but it's a really fast, good theme. I do have a fast track blog builder to show people how to build blogs. I'm going to talk to you guys more about my blog and accelerator program later. But let's talk about how you can grow your blog. So to grow your blog, there are 2 ways, 2 things you could do. Number 1, search engine optimization, SEO, or number 2, by chance. And I'm sure you guys can guess, which one do you think I would recommend on how to grow your blog? SEO or by chance? You can comment. I think you guys know. Yep. SEO. Thank you, Raquel. So I will say in the beginning days of blogging, a lot of people, they grew traffic by chance. That's very, very hard to do these days, if not impossible. So I will tell you, if you don't take the time to learn SEO, you are wasting your time. You could have the best content in the world, but no one is going to see it. So what is SEO? Search engine optimization. I Googled it. So this is the most SEO optimized article for SEO. It's the process of maximizing the number of visitors to a particular website by ensuring the site appears high on the list of results returned by a search engine. So what that means is we do SEO because we want our website to be on the first page of Google. If someone searches something online related to our topic, we want it to pull up our website. So let's talk about some SEO stats. 93% of people go online through search engines. A search engine leads you to a blog. It leads you to a blog on a website, an article. 90% of search engine users are using Google. So when you hear me talk about Google, that is why. The number 2 search engine is YouTube. A lot of people don't think that YouTube's a search engine, but it is, and they are owned by Google. And then the other piece to consider is that 75% or more of people who search stuff online do not scroll past the first page of Google. So when you search something online, there's 10 spots on the first page of Google. Think about what you do if you search something and you don't find what you're looking for on the first page. Most of us are going to change our search query. We're going to look for something else. So we don't want to be on the second page of Google. We want to be on the first page. But on the first page, there are stats on what people click on with each space. So these are the top 10 spots on Google. And you can see that most people click on 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Then it goes down to very few click on 10, more than page 2. But our goal as bloggers is if someone searches a topic related to our niche, we want to be on the first page of Google in the number 1 spot is ideal. So let me show you with my blog, The Geriatric Dietitian, kind of how SEO worked. So 6 months into blogging, my website was bringing in 713 sessions. Think of this like people coming to your website. And I was excited. I'm like, that's 700 humans I don't even know are coming to my website. 1 year later, because of SEO, over 100,000 people coming to the website. So that is the power of SEO. Now, when it comes to blog business skills, I think a blog is wonderful because it can be a side hustle, but it is so important that we treat a blog like a business and not a hobby. We have to make sure that we are thinking and acting like a CEO. We need to set audacious goals. We need to be visionary. We need to know where we're going. We need to have purpose. We need to have a strategic plan so that way we can get to that goal state. You need to be building confidence and massive belief. You need to invest in your business and yourself. Take advantage of business tax deductions. That's a cool thing about being a business owner is just finding ways to decrease my taxable income. That's a whole other conversation. But then also be willing to take risk, be willing to take imperfect action. So I'm curious with those of you who are on live, go ahead and comment and let me know, what is your greatest barrier to starting the blog? Maybe it's the tech, maybe it's the mindset, maybe it's the motivation, maybe it's the, could be lots of things. Go ahead and let me know. Oh, perfection. Yes, I know, Ruth. Running out of ideas, needing help with SEO, time, tech, not knowing how, website design, motivation, no niche. Yep. Not knowing what to focus on, motivation, procrastination, finite amount of energy. Yep. Tech business skills, tech feeling like too many others in my niche. Everything. Misha. I feel you. What to focus on, a topic, not knowing how, same with running out of ideas. Okay. Yeah. And I feel like part of me is like, I want to answer all the questions, but again, being mindful of time, recognizing this is going to be we still have quite a bit of time to go, but all of these things are doable, I guess is what I just want to say. There's workarounds with all of them. So let's talk about step number 3 is doing the thing. So the final problem is when you take what you don't know what you want to do, you don't know how to do it, we throw in perfectionism, it leads to overwhelm and inaction. So what is my solution on this one? It's going to be to work on your mindset. I am obsessed with mindset because it is everything. So you have to be willing to let go of perfectionism and take massive action. Right? And also surrounding yourself with community that will help you to get there. I wouldn't be a full-time entrepreneur right now if it wasn't for my friends in my business mastermind who encouraged me to quit my job. And when I came up with every excuse in the book on why I couldn't possibly leave my job, they saw in me what I couldn't see in myself. So community really is everything. and mindset. So like all the things are everything. But when it comes to mindset, one of my business coaches said, with everything in life, it's 80% psychology, 20% mechanics. What does that mean? The mechanics is doing the thing. It's being the dietitian. It's being the blogger. It's running the business. The 80% is your belief that you can do it. And I will say on my journey, I've almost feel like it's 1% work and 99% mindset. So the best thing that you could do for yourself is work on removing your limiting beliefs. And first off, figure out, what are your limiting beliefs? They can be conscious or unconscious. Sometimes there's stories we've been telling ourselves our whole life. I'm not good at tech. I'm not a good writer. I start, but I don't finish. Like, what are those things that we tell ourselves that we don't even realize we're saying to ourselves? We could be really mean in our brains, but if we're able to identify those and work on removing them, the sky is the limit. Napoleon Hill, he said, your only limitation is the one which you set up in your own mind. So this is a statement, I feel like it's super cheesy, but I just believe it to be super true. What you believe you will achieve, whether it's positive or negative. If you believe, okay, this blogging stuff works for some people, but it'll never work for me, you're probably right. If you believe that I can do this, 2 years from now, I will have a blog that is making passive income and will open so many doors and opportunities for me. I know it will take work. I know I may have to pivot. I may have to do this, that, and that. 100% you're going to achieve it. So the best thing you could do right now is to work on your mindset, because it will determine your success. Another Napoleon Hill quote, be careful what you set upon your heart, for it will surely come true. And then finally, inspirational Mary Poppins quote, anything is possible, anything, including the impossible. So, gosh, I'm going to skip through probably the next couple of slides, but I do just want to introduce the concept of expecting greatness. If you decide, like, I want to blog as a business, then I want you to expect greatness moving forward. Expectation has to do with outcomes, what we think is going to happen. If we are expecting something undesirable to happen, we're going to move forward with anxious apprehension. We're waiting for the shoe to drop. We're waiting to fail. We're waiting for all those negative voices in our head to be proven right. Where if we expect good things are going to happen, we expect I will have success because I'm not giving up, we're going to have joyful expectation. We're going to be looking forward to that day because we know it's going to happen. So I want each and every one of you, if you decide to move forward with blogging as a business, to move forward expecting greatness, because if you don't, you're going to be like stopped in your track with paralysis, which typically comes from perfectionism. I do want to talk about this because perfectionism is so rampant in dietitians. I used to wear perfectionism as a badge of honor. I was so proud of being a perfectionist, but I've started realizing it's a weakness because it leads to paralysis, where we want to learn all the things before we start. We want to make sure we're perfect before we start. And the problem is we're never going to be perfect and we're never going to start. So I want to give each and every one of you permission. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to know everything. And I want you to strive for imperfection, recognizing that done is better than perfect. That is a mantra I say to myself almost every day. Done is better than perfect. So I've made a new badge of honor for dietitians, the imperfectly perfect badge, and this is something you should wear with pride. So the mindset to start is we want to make sure that we aren't just busy. Busy doesn't get us anywhere. We want to be focused. We need to have a concrete idea of what our future will look like, so a path. We need to be willing to forego perfectionism, let go of anxiety and ego, take imperfect action, and pursue our dreams relentlessly. So who is with me? If you're ready to let go of perfectionism and take action, go ahead and comment me in the chat. Oh, I like that. All caps, 2 exclamation points, Kat. Yes. Awesome. Woohoo. Love it. There's so much freedom in letting go of perfectionism. Although I will tell you guys, sometimes I worry I've swung too far. I'll go look at a blog article on my website and there's like a typo in the first paragraph. I'm like, oh, how far I've fallen. But that's okay. Done is better than perfect. Okay, so refreshing on those 3 steps to start: discovering what you want to do, learning what's possible and uncovering your niche, developing, learning how to do it, learn how to build and grow your website, learn how to think like a CEO, do it, overcome what makes you stuck, take imperfect action. So how will you get results? I got 2 options for you guys. So the first one is you could be a DIYer. You can, I'm going to share with you guys a tool that I'm going to send you soon, or you can work with me. So I'm going to share a little bit of the opportunity I mentioned at the beginning. After that, we are going to do our drawing and I'll have some opportunities for you guys. So this is for the DIYers. If you're like, okay, I just want to do this on my own. I just want to dig into this. Then this is a checklist I want you to go through. It walks through what we talked about, the 3 steps to start. And it's a checklist to help you uncover your niche, to help you learn the things we talked about you need to learn, and to help you work through that perfectionism, right? So the next option would be to work with me with my Blogging Accelerator program. So I'm going to take some time to tell you more about this program. It is my signature program. The doors to this program closed back in end of January, beginning of February. The doors just opened up this Sunday. They're only going to be open for a short time. I'll tell you more about it. But if you're like, oh my gosh, I want to start a blog business, I want to do this, I want to have the community that's going to help me get there, then let's dive in. So I want to tell you who this program is for. It is for the blogger to be and the blogger. You can have no idea what you want to do. You can have an idea of what you want to do, and you can even have a blog, but probably not a blog that's making money. So if you are someone who, even if you're like, I don't even know what I want to do, well, this program would still be for you. Who this program is not for. This isn't for someone who's already making good money through their blog, unless they want support and community. We can talk offline. This is not for someone who's willing to get, is for someone who wants to get rich quick. You guys saw my timeline. I did not get rich quick, but I love sharing those. I love sharing that data because it's kind of cool to see how it works. This isn't for someone who is not willing to be imperfect and take action. You have to be willing to do the thing. You can't get stuck. This isn't for someone who's not willing to invest in themselves, and probably not for those who totally hate writing, right? Although I always say the caveat, even if you don't like to write, you can talk into a microphone and there's tools that will transcribe your audio for you. There's also AI tech that writes for you. There's lots of options. So I mentioned this pyramid before, and the Blogging Accelerator program is designed to move people up the pyramid with the goal of becoming a blog boss. Now, the Blogging Accelerator program starts with an 8-week self-paced course, which goes through the blog monetizer method. I'm going to talk to you guys about the outcomes from each week because I think that's what's important. The time commitment for this course is 8 weeks. It's about 5 to 7 hours of work per week. If you got more time, you can go through it faster. If you have less time, it's just going to be a little bit slower. It is self-paced. So the first week is all about discovering. You're going to leave this week with a focused niche, a brand, and an understanding of business basics. Week 2 is the week of build, where you will have a website that is live on the internet, ready to monetize. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be live, and you will work on prettying it up later. Because sometimes we just got to do the thing. We can't stay stuck in that. Week number 3 is the week of learn. You'll leave that week with an understanding of the basics on how to grow your blog, SEO. Week 4 ties into another SEO principle. I call it finding the gold. And in this week, you're going to create a list of topics to create blog posts on for your first year, if not longer, of blogging. So if you're thinking, I don't know what I would even write about, week 4, you'd have your answers. You'd know what you want to write about. So each time you go to write, you're not trying to figure out a topic, you just pull from your list. In week 5, you are going to leave this week, the week of create, with confidence in creating more content in less time. Now, initially this week was all about creating your first blog article, and that's what we do. We show you how to do it. But I've also added modules to help people with creating more confidence and creating more time. Those are the 2 biggies that really hold up a lot of dietitians with posting blog articles. They don't have the time to do it, to do the thing, and they find themselves editing their blog for the 10th time and they're still not publishing their article because they're so caught up in their head and they're just not confident. So we address those right off the bat in the course. During week 6, the week of nurture, this is where you begin to build your audience online. So this is looking at things outside of the blog with social media and email marketing. Week 7 is the week of dream. And with this week, you're going to build a list of products and services that you'll create as you grow your own brand. Now, you're not going to build everything all at once. It's going to be over time, kind of like I showed you guys with my timeline. Build traffic, add income sources. Week 8 is the week of plan, and you're going to leave that week with a strategic plan, moving forward with confidence, excitement, determination, and tenacity. So for those of you who want to know the nitty-gritty of like, okay, what is included in this? Here's my value stack. I'm going to talk through it kind of quickly. I'll show you a few elements, and then I'll kind of show you guys the big picture. So remember, the program starts with that 8-week course. It includes tools, templates, and resources because I want to make it easy peasy for you to reach your goals, to not be so frustrated. So everything I've created on my own blog journey, I give people in the program. You have lifetime access to our members only Facebook group, which is my favorite part of the group. They're so amazing. You have access to my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course, which we will be raffling off at the end of this talk today. You also get access to my fast track blog builder course and workbook to help you build the blog. There's a couple new things. I'll be talking more about these in a minute. I have a blog accountability group. We have a nutrition blog directory, which features all of our bloggers. We do live monthly Q&A calls. We have a guest speaker come in to speak about marketing, sales, and mindset because it's so important. We have monthly guided blog starter calls that will be starting in June. We have a really awesome affiliate program. So if you know of other people who would be a great fit for the program and you refer them, you already got an income stream right there. We have an ever-growing bonus section because I really love serving this community. I'm always thinking of ways that I could help them more. And so I'm always adding to the bonus section. And then finally, the something to sell course. So let me show you a couple of these elements that are included. So the 8-week course is broken up into 4 components each week. So you start off with the video where I talk about mindset and a little bit of inspiration on what you're going to need mentally to prepare for this week. Then I teach my core learning content for the week, give you all the resources you need, and then there's an action item. This program isn't about learning. It's not like 30 hours of learning stuff. It's here's what you need to know. Now go do it. It's very action-based. So I'm not going to read through this, but this is just some of the tools and templates that are included in the program. Lots of checklists, templates, resources to help you. Here's a little snippet of what some of them look like. I got a lot of checklists just to help make things easy peasy for you. I got a dietitian volunteer program, which actually is a great way to find other people to write for your blog, the guide, the little workbook to create more time. This is an example of our Facebook community. I mentioned the action items. So each week you'll be going into the Facebook group, sharing your action item because accountability, community, it's also important. And this is all about taking action because we learn by doing. So this is just an example of what that looks like. The Facebook group. The Facebook group is full of dietitians. We have students in there, an NDTR, a couple of other healthcare professionals, and they are all on the same journey. So motivational, so they inspire me. It's my favorite part. So I want to show you guys this really quick for those of you who are like, tech is hard. How do you want me to build a website? I made a course to walk you through it. It comes with a workbook, and here's just a picture of what it looks like. Because again, I'm a checklist kind of person. So in this course, you'd be watching videos for 2 hours and taking action for 3 hours, a total of 5.5 hours. I have it broken down into 14 short lessons. So you just have to make sure, okay, I got 10 minutes. During this amount of time, I will watch my video and do my action item. This is the example with week 1. So you watch an 8-minute video, do the thing for 7 minutes, it'd take you 15 minutes total. I got the links, the action items, and tips. So again, it's designed to be easy peasy for you. And I do want to add, if you come into the program and you already have a blog, instead of building the blog during that week, you'll be doing a blog audit to make sure your website is optimized for SEO and ready to rock and roll. So I want to emphasize the Blogging Accelerator program is more than a course. You're getting lifetime access to a program that sticks with you through the long-term blog journey. And some of these are the new things that are coming that I'm really excited about. So we've been doing monthly Q&A calls since we started the program, but we're adding in guided blog starter calls. Those are calls designed to help you get a blog article started every month. And then we have our guest coach, Angela Lago, coming in to talk about marketing, sales, and mindset, because those are so huge when it comes to blogging as a business. So we also have our blog accountability group, which is made up of a couple different things. One of them are those monthly guided blog starter calls. We also have the opportunity to connect with an accountability partner because blogging can be a lonely game and it's just you and your computer. So having more community and someone to connect with. But then also our monthly blog challenge. Now, this is where each month you say, okay, I'm going to write this many blog articles. As you write them, you'd share in a spot in our Facebook group the links to your articles. Every share is an entry into a monthly drawing that we're going to do for a cash prize. So it's kind of an incentive. It's kind of gamifying it, making it fun. It's like, okay, I said I was going to blog anyways, but now I can win some money, start making money early on my blog, but then also it's just fun to kind of encourage and support each other through the journey. And then the last thing is a bonus course that I created at the end of last year, beginning of this year for my mastermind students. And it was a course called Something to Sell. You guys heard me talk about, to make money, you got to have something to sell and someone to sell it to. So I made this course, and I do sell it right now. I actually just opened it for $1,000. And through this course, it walks you through how to do market research, how to build your first offer, how to do sales, and how to fulfill the offer. So here's what's included, all the things. The value is over $40,000. And I will say with the lifetime access, that number just will continue to grow. So the cost of the program, if you're like, heck yes, Katie, I want in, the investment for this program is $6,000. Now, I will say this time around, I have connected with a funding company. I'll talk about them in a moment, and you can actually start the program for $290 a month or less. So I'm gonna drop a link below. I hope I still have it. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna drop a link here. We're gonna talk about more about that in a minute. So enrollment is limited, you guys. This is the 8th cohort, the Blogging Accelerator program, and the doors are gonna be closing on May 31st. Or when we reach capacity. We are limiting enrollment to 30 people for our 8th cohort. And I do want to say a big welcome to the 7 people who are already in. I'm so excited to work with each and every one of them. The vision that they have, the brands they're going to start, the things that they're going to be doing is just so exciting. So I want to help 30 people start their blog businesses and make it to the other side to having success with blogging. So my question is, will you be one of them? So if I was going to summarize Blogging Accelerator program beyond the value stack and all the nitty gritties, I would describe it as a program where you're going to stop dreaming and start doing. It provides you step-by-step how-to. There's accountability, there's support. You'll be taking imperfect action and building your own brand. You'll be building your own dreams instead of someone else's. So for those of you on the webinar, I do have some fast action bonuses that I wanted to throw in. So if you end up joining today, then you are going to get a free 30-minute website review with me. Now, this would be once your website's built, or if you have one when you get started. So we would be doing a 30-minute consult, reviewing your website, helping you through the tech and all the things. But then I have another bonus. So this is a $300 cashback bonus opportunity. And so I'm going to explain this to you really quick. And I will say there's super strict rules. So pretty much if you sign up for the program and you complete the course within 8 weeks, now it's an 8-week course. That's how long the expectation is. If you show up and do it in that amount of time, you watch all the videos, you complete your Facebook assignments, you share your action items, and then you email me when you're done. And I do ask for a review of the program and you say you're done, then I'm going to send you $300 cash via PayPal, just for rewarding you for doing the thing. Now, I do say super strict rules. There's no exceptions, excuses, waivers. If you email me the day after, it is null and void, but it's just an opportunity to provide you some incentive to do the thing. It's something my business coach does, and I think it's fun. I'm like, get paid to do the thing I signed up for. Yes, please. So if you are on the fence about this program, you're like, oh gosh, this sounds amazing, Katie, but I'm terrified of the investment, of the money, of the time, I talked about investments today on the podcast, so I can go on a tangent here. But if you're on the fence, I want to encourage you to apply for a free 20-minute strategy session with me. I want to let you guys know that space is limited. Next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, I'm going to Disneyland. I'm so excited. And then I'll be back for one day and I'll turn around and I'm going to Florida for my business mastermind meeting. So when I say space is limited, I mean space is limited. I'm going to be out of town. So if you are on the fence, I want to encourage you to apply for a strategy session with me. I love talking to you guys. And even if you decide the program's not the best fit for you, one thing I promise is you're going to have a lot of clarity in your business and where you need to go from here. So if you schedule a call today, guys, you're going to lock in these bonuses if you join on the call. So if you're like, oh, I'm not ready to commit now, that is okay. You will still have the opportunity to get these 2 bonuses I talked about just by scheduling a call today if you decide to join. And let me see how many people are on. Okay, so we have 25 people on live. Okay, so I have an idea of something, and I was actually thinking about this right before we went live, and I've never done this before, but what I want to offer is if you are currently listening and you're like, man, I really think I want to join this. Maybe you've been following me for a while and you've been waiting for the doors to open, but if you're like, I want to join Blogging Accelerator program, I'm going to give you the opportunity to join. If you join while we're on this call, I dropped the link below. There's a button to pay in full. If you join live while we're on the call, come back when you're done, comment joined. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a free 1-hour coaching call. I don't do one-on-one anymore. I do group programs. And even to be in my mastermind, it's a $15,000 investment. So I do not offer individual calls very often. So you would get a free 1-hour coaching call with me and an opportunity to spin my wheel at the end of this call, not just for you, but for you and someone else on the call. So I just wanted to open that up. If anyone on this call live is like, oh gosh, I really think I want to join, I just want to offer those bonuses for you. So I'll do that for the first person. Honestly, if any of you do that, I will honor it. So if you do that, comment joined or me in the comment section. If I miss it, guys, let me know. Okay, let me know if someone commented that and I miss it. So I'm not sure if one of you on is that person, but if you are, opportunities out there. Challenge given. I'm going to drop the link again. Okay. So I do want to talk about debt versus funding because I mentioned the funding opportunity that I have. And I think when it comes to investing in a program, especially one that costs a chunk of change, it can feel pretty overwhelming. I know for many of us, when we go to school to become dietitians, we don't have the money, we get student loans, and we understand the benefit of that. So I do want to talk to you guys about the differences between debt and funding. Debt is a liability. It is when you buy something that does not make you money, big screen TV, cable, fancy car, right? Funding is an asset. It's an investment that makes you more money. You're investing in skills that you gain, marketing for your business, understanding I'm going to make this money back, and so much more. Thinking of the mindset between the wealthy and the unwealthy, broke people tend to have more debt. They buy what they want when they want it, and it's not making them money, right? Where wealthy people use other people's money to get the skills, they leverage the funding to build their dreams. So I'm now working with a third-party funding company called Ease Consulting. I'm really excited to work with them because they understand entrepreneurs. The reason they actually only work with entrepreneurs, because what they found is when we let people borrow money, they pay it back before it's due. Because what are they doing? Entrepreneurs, we're learning how to make money. Once we start making money, we pay off that debt, right? So what to look for in funding, and what this company does offer is longer term. So we're talking like 2 to 5 years. It's the longer the better, because it's going to make your monthly payments lower. And that's good in the beginning, especially when you're not making a lot of money in your business. Fast funding is great. Getting your money within 2 to 4 days so you don't miss out on opportunities. Affordable monthly payments. And this is the biggie, no prepayment penalty. With Ease Consulting, you can pay in full and not get penalized. You also should have funders who really understand the business side of things, which I will say Ease does, which is why I love them. They give you the best chance for funding. And so for those of you who are interested in this, I do have the opportunity to do the third-party funding. Should you apply, this would be the person who, if you're like, okay, I do not have the capital up front to join, but I want to join. I believe in myself. I know I can do this. You can qualify if you make $35K annually. You have a credit score of 620 or more. If you're a W-2 employee, you just have to have been with the same employer for 3 years. If you're a 1099, you just have to show 2 years of taxes that you made the money. And if you qualify for those, you're in. So I dropped the link a couple times. So this link will bring you to a page that looks like this. It's very simple, 3 buttons. First option, pay in full. Next option would be to apply for third-party funding. I will tell you, if you make it through the first page, you probably will be approved. There's like a pre-screen. And so if you make it through the first page, you're probably in. Now, if you want to apply for third-party funding, but you don't qualify, apply for a call with me and let's chat. I do have other options for you. And if you just want to have a call with me to figure out the program's the best fit for you, here's the link for it as well. So you guys can go to dietitiansidehustle.com/BAP, and there's the options to join now, to apply for third-party funding, and to schedule a call with me, or apply to schedule. I'll send you the link once you apply. So I just have a few more slides here. Let's talk about what our bloggers have to say about the program. Angela shares that Katie explains clearly each step of the program, was easy to understand. She appreciated that I was available to the group. Ashley had shared when she finished how excited she was to move forward with the program. Elizabeth said it felt so good to embrace perfectly imperfect and get things done. She's excited for what's next. I will say she's done some amazing things since she completed. Sam, she shared that she never had a bigger fan of support, which I love. I love Sam. And she just shared that she had the resources and everything that she needed through this program. Liz said that the program was a game changer for her. She learned to slow down, understand each piece of the puzzle before moving on to the next. Sarah shared that Katie knows her stuff and that she's genuinely invested in your success. And that is one thing that I do agree. I genuinely am invested in the success of people in this program, and for each and every one of you in your business and whatever you want to pursue. And she found that this course was and continues to be 100% worth it. So again, Blogging Accelerator program, guys, I got the link above. Here is my dream. So my dream, and why I want more dietitian bloggers out there, is I want to have a day where anytime someone searches a nutrition related topic, it pulls up a blog written by a registered dietitian NDTR, healthcare professional, so that 2 reasons. The public is getting correct information. There are so many people right now who are blogging in the healthcare space who are spreading incorrect information that harms the public. And it's just really frustrating to those who are working with patients, right? I mean, how much time do you spend weeding through that incorrect information? I want more dietitians and healthcare professionals drowning out those voices online. Number 2, I want to see the dietitian making the money, because there is a lot of money to be made online. Again, I shared the numbers with my blog, and I'm still a baby blog in the sea of blogs. So if you are interested in getting started, go ahead and visit dietitiansidehustle.com/BAP. So let's talk about the emails coming to you. So again, when we are done, as soon as I download this and send out the replay, you're going to get a copy. It's going to be a link to access these notes, and you will have the checklist I talked about and a link for the replay. So you guys, I just want to take the time to say thank you so much for taking the time to show up. We still have quite a few of you on live, and I just want to say thank you. Let's take over the online space and start treating blogging as a business. So I'm going to open it up for questions, but before I do that, we're going to do a drawing. So this is to reward those of you who stayed on to the very end. Thank you so much. So we are going to do a drawing for my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. So what I want you guys to do, for those of you who are on live, in the chat box, I want you guys to write down a number between 1 and 21. Denise, I saw what you did there. It's okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, scroll it up. Okay. Okay. It's okay, Denise. No need to apologize. Okay, so what I did is before we, I'm gonna stop sharing this for a minute. Stop sharing this. I'll show you how I did this. I want to prove I'm being fair. So what I did was I wrote a number down before I asked you guys to write down, and I wrote down the number, you see it, 7. So I'm not sure what the feedback looks on your guys's, but I'm going to go with the first person who wrote down the number 7 is going to win my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. Now, because we are on Zoom and I do not have your emails, to redeem this, you need to email me. I'm going to drop my email. Give me a second. And I'll tell you who the winner is in just a second, just in case we have different like lag time on our chats. So snag my email. If you miss it, message me on Facebook, message me on Instagram, just find me. I'm easy to find online. So the winner of the Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course is Ruth. So Ruth Fretchman is the winner. Woohoo! Awesome. But you know, we have 2 other people who put 7. We have Raquel and we have Joanna. I'm probably saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. But just for kicks, because why not? We're going to go ahead and give you guys a prize too. It's not going to be my Beyond the 9 to 5 coaching course. That program is valued at $349. I do sell it at $197 right now. But we're going to give you a quick spin on the money wheel so you can win some cash. To redeem it, you have to email me your PayPal. So let's share the screen, and then we'll do questions. Okay, cool. So, okay. Where's my money wheel? I love the money wheel. Okay, so first we are going to do the money wheel spin for Raquel. Okay, you on, Raquel? Okay, Raquel, let's see how much money you're going to get. $20. Woo, woo. So Raquel, go ahead and email me your PayPal, and send me an email with your PayPal. And Ruth, thanks for sharing your email, but if you could email me, that would be better, because I'm going to lose access to chat in a minute. So now we are going to do the drawing for, I'm going to write your name. Joanna, are you on? I think you're still on. think you're still on. Okay, we're gonna do the prize for you. Okay, I see she's on. Okay, so you're gonna get, oh, so close, $35. Woohoo! Awesome. So Juana, go ahead. Thank you so much. So Juana, go ahead and send me your send me an email and send me your PayPal so that way I can get the money to you. You're welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing. Actually, no, I'm not gonna stop sharing. Okay, I have one more slide. You guys probably don't need this slide, but so congratulations to the 3 of you who won. And we are now going to open it up for questions. So go ahead and let me know what questions you guys have about blogging as a business. We talked about a lot of different things over the past hour and 20 minutes. So if you have any questions about anything we talked about, the income reports that I shared, the money piece, the components of blogging, the blogging accelerator program, I am an open book and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. Okay. So Tisha, I wanted to know if I'm away for a summer break, can I still enroll in the program and start working on the blog once I'm back? Do we need to have a website to start the program? Great questions. So the doors to the program are open now and they're closing. But what a lot of people do is they will join while, well, in the past I hadn't closed the doors, but often the price goes up. So it's like to lock in your price, people join. So people will join the program recognizing right now is not the best moment for me, but a couple months from now, here's when I'm going to do it. The program is self-paced. It's designed to be where you can join anytime. And even if you join and life gets crazy and you can't, like maybe you're 2 weeks in and all of a sudden like the chaos of life happens, you have to take a break for a month and then come back. That's okay. I've designed the program to be self-paced to really support everyone's life. So you can absolutely join now while the doors are open and then access the course whenever you are ready. And do you need to have a website to start the program? No, not at all. You don't even have to know what you're going to blog about to start the program. In the program, I'll teach you how to create the website. Okay, so Annie says, how do you get around conflict of interest with ads on your blog with your regulatory body in your state? I'm in Canada and our regulatory college has a lot to say on this. Oh, so in the United States, there's no problem with that as long as we're not providing medical nutrition therapy, which we're not. There's disclaimers on my website. And, that's a tough one because I really feel the frustration of the fact that there are people who are not credentialed, who are blogging about nutrition and they're spreading incorrect information. So I would be disappointed if I saw a regulatory body saying you couldn't do that. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Actually, I have bloggers in Canada. They're not on ads yet. They're getting close. What I would recommend doing, Angie, is I would contact the regulatory bodies for your profession up in Canada and ask them if there are conflicts of interest related to blogging, related to writing online. And oftentimes that's different from one-on-one patient care, right? It's very, very different. We're not providing individualized MNT. It is educational information for the public. So I don't know the answer to that one, but I would talk to the regulatory body where you live on what your options are. Do you have extra training for writing specifically for blogs? So my program covers lots of things. And I will say in the Q&A, well, I guess let me actually back up. I do teach how to write a blog article. So I go through how to do the keyword research, how to do the SEO, how to create a blog article. And that often looks like, I call it a mind map. It's where you get all these ideas out of your head on paper, making the outline, and then how to write it. So I do walk through how to write the blog. What is not included in the program is like the specific technical writing. But I will say the thing I love about blogging is it's conversational. I write like I blog. It's not like I'm writing an article for school or for a research paper. I've written articles like through the professional groups. It's not like that. It's very casual and we want to write at a level anyone can understand. So I will say writing for blogs isn't hard. I know a lot of people get caught up in their heads of, oh, it has to be perfect. It doesn't. You just have to get your point across and provide value. So in the program, I do walk through how to write the blog article and techniques on how to create your outline and how to do all the things with SEO, but I don't have in the program a specific thing about improving your writing skills. But there's a dietitian named Holly Larson with Holly Larson Writes, and she has a course which teaches people how to become better writers, which is really valuable. You can shoot me an email if you want more information about that course. And I will say on our Q&A calls, if you have specific questions, we go over all the things. Okay, Joanne. Oh, I love all these questions. Do you get to choose what ads are posted on your blog? Say you want a blog with pediatric nutrition and would prefer pediatric ads. Okay, good question. So how ads work these days is you work with an ad network. Think of the ad network as the middleman between the bloggers and the advertising companies. So I don't work directly with the companies. I work with the middleman, with Mediavine. Mediavine has access to my website and they put in code, and that's how the ads get on my website. Now with Mediavine, I can opt out of certain categories. I don't, but if there was a certain category that really went against something I believed in or my brand, you can opt out of an entire category of advertising. But I will say you don't have control over the exact ads people are seeing. And that's because of how ads work. How ads work is they're based on the user and not necessarily on the website. Sometimes there is on the website, but a lot of times it's based on the user. So if I was to go to the geriatric dietitian right now, the ads I would see would probably be different from the ads you would see, from the ads you would see, from the ads you would see. I just bought a really ridiculously big screen TV for my husband. He's turning 40. I bought him an 85-inch TV. So I've been searching a lot about TVs. So when I go online and I go on websites, there's all these ads about TVs, right? And other people might not see that. So I just want to explain the back end of how ads work. It's based on the individual user versus the blog. Now, some people choose not to do ads on their website, and that's okay. There are other ways to make money blogging. And for a lot of people who maybe have a practice where they want to work with clients, do group programs, they use their blog as a lead magnet and they make money that way. So ads is just one option. Okay. Lauren, who do you like to use for your liability insurance? Good question. So Chrissy Carroll is a dietitian blogger, and if you go to her Facebook group, it's on Build a Wellness blog. You can message me if you can't find the Facebook group. But she has a bunch of information about the liability insurance she uses. She uses a mismatch of things. I will say initially, I'm an Academy member and I was using the Academy's insurance, and I had a writer, which I thought covered my writing. I later found out, myself and a bunch of other bloggers online found out that did not cover what I was doing with blogging. As of right now, I don't have insurance specific to my blog. What I do have is I'm a limited liability company. So my business is separate from me personally. So if by chance, we live in a sue hungry world, right? If by chance someone, wants to try to sue me, I am protected in terms of they can only come after my business. I mean, I know that's not the ideal thing. So there's a little bit of protection in place. I do have, I actually have an attorney I do work with. I have disclaimers on my website, privacy policy, terms of conditions, all these things to protect me. Lots of disclaimers and liabilities out there, but I am not currently using insurance for my blog. But if you want to learn more about that, Chrissy Carroll is a wonderful resource. She's a full-time dietitian blogger who's amazing. Okay. Angie, good to know you have Canadian bloggers. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. How long have you been working as an RD when you first decided you wanted to blog, and what you wanted to blog about? So I was a dietitian I've been a dietitian 13 years and I've been blogging for almost 3. So I was a dietitian for 10 years before I started my blog. How I decided to do the geriatric dietitian, I think for me, it happened to come easy because I worked with older adults doing home care. I was a board certified specialist in gerontological nutrition. I was heavily involved with the Healthy Aging Dietetic Practice Group. I helped to write the CSG, the geriatric nutrition exam. So I was like knees deep in geriatric nutrition, and it's a topic I'm really passionate about. So I think for me, when it came to starting a blog, I just did what I loved and what I was good at. And I know not everyone has that situation, but for me, that's why I decided to start the geriatric dietitian, because I was already knees deep in it, and it was my thing. And also, I'll kind of share this too. I started it because working for the VA was so cool because I got to see every veteran in my program. They didn't have to screen positive for malnutrition before they finally saw a dietitian. That drives me bonkers. Like, let's wait till they've lost all their muscle and they're malnourished before we decide to help them. And then it's like, oh, so I saw the value of having a dietitian in the lives of older adults and how it impacted their quality of life, how we could stop unintended weight loss, maintain their muscle mass, and help to improve their independence. And I'm just so passionate about serving older adults. And I feel like this isn't a topic people are talking about. When someone loses weight unintentionally, a lot of the times people are like, good for you, you weren't even trying. And there's all these, I can get in the weeds about it. But I just felt like there wasn't a lot of good information online that was really reaching people and impacting people. So for me, having 100,000 people visit my content every month is such a blessing because I'm able to educate the public and change the conversation in a topic that I'm so passionate about. So we're not telling older adults to lose weight when they already have sarcopenia, they have less muscle mass, and we're making them more malnourished. I'm not going to go on too many tangents, but it was an opportunity for me to change the conversation on such a big level in a way that I never could do at the VA. Serving a small amount of people at the VA was nothing compared to what I'm able to do with the geriatric dietitian. And again, that goes down to a lot of the reason why I want to see more dietitians bloggers, because I really believe dietitians can change the world. And what we do is so important for quality of life for people. And I just want to see more people out there spreading this information that is so important in all of our niches. Okay. Probably more than what you asked for. Okay. So Angie, how do you use Pinterest to get traffic? You showed a lot of traffic coming from Pinterest. Thanks. Oh, so Angie, so when I shared that slide, I'm actually going to reshare it for you guys. Share. I know exactly what slide you're talking about. So that was, oh my gosh, maybe I'm gonna stop sharing. I don't want to make you guys so dizzy. So I shared a slide about the traffic on my website and I mentioned Pinterest. So I'm going to share that with you guys again, so we're all on the same page of what I'm talking about. You know, this presentation had 117 slides. I got a little crazy. I hope if this was helpful, go ahead and comment helpful below. I hope that this was helpful for you guys, but there's just so much I wanted to share. Okay, so I found the slide. So this is the slide I shared. This is my growth. I just wanted to let you guys know where people are finding me, because I think it's important when we talk about numbers to talk about the other things, right? So most people are finding me through Google. This is just saying how many people I have following me on social at the 2-month mark. So I had a little over 3,000 on Instagram, about 2,000 on Facebook. And I feel like this sounds real fancy, but Pinterest, like all this means is monthly views, meaning someone scrolled past one of my pins. It doesn't even mean they clicked on it, but that's how they kind of share their reporting. And then my email marketing list, I have over 1,000 people on it, but this isn't the amount of people who are coming to my website. I do have a tool where I could see how many people are coming to my website through what resource. It's a tool called Google Analytics. And I will tell you, a massive majority of people are coming to my website through Google, about 80%, if not more. Through social media, the top one is Pinterest. And that is because I feel like Pinterest drives me bonkers. Their algorithms have changed so much. I actually got into Pinterest at a time where it was a little bit easier to gain traffic and to get traffic from your pins to your website. So I get some traffic from Pinterest, not a lot. I no longer post to Pinterest. Like occasionally I'll share a post, but it's not part of my strategy anymore because it doesn't bring the traffic and it's just not worth my time. So, so your question about, oh golly, did I use Pinterest to get traffic? Some traffic, but I would say it's a couple thousand per month in the sea of 100,000. So it's not a lot. It's way more than the other ones. Like Instagram, I get like 3 people a month through Instagram because no one clicks on link in bio. It's just how it is, or at least with my Instagram for the geriatric dietitian, which I really don't post too much anymore. So yeah, so thank you for letting me know. That kind of looked like traffic was coming from Pinterest. It wasn't. It was just showing like, yes, I've got people who are finding me on Pinterest, and that's how many followers I have, but not traffic to the blog. Okay, would you still recommend WordPress as a website host if I plan to do one-to-one counseling in the future also? That's a good question, Claire. It depends on your goals with blogging. Is your goal that you want to get more people to your practice so you can see people one-to-one, maybe do one-to-many and do group programs eventually? If that's the case, I'm always going to recommend WordPress.org, because when it comes to SEO, and SEO is important regardless of how you want to monetize your website. If you want to use it to bring more patients in, right? We want to get massive traffic. And WordPress.org just gives us so much more ability to control the back end of the website in ways that the other ones don't. I think Squarespace would probably be my favorite if I was talking about the done for you websites. If I was just a practice owner, I probably would maybe have that. Honestly, I recommend WordPress.org. But if you wanted one of the pre-made ones, Squarespace, because there is still a lot of ability to grow traffic with Squarespace. But when it comes to getting ad networks, so like Mediavine wants you to be on WordPress.org. And if you get to the point where you're making all that traffic, to switch over at that point from like a Wix to WordPress or a Squarespace to WordPress would be, I would pay someone to do it, honestly, because you wouldn't want to break that, because if you lose the traffic, you lose the money. So it's just it's what I think I would recommend, and most people who are really knees deep in blogging would recommend WordPress, but it's not as user friendly. I will say that. That's why people don't like it. Okay. And some people, they just want to have a landing page. Maybe they use social media to find their clients and they just want to have a landing page for a website. In those cases, like, heck yeah, have a Squarespace. That is perfectly fine if you're not really wanting to do the SEO, if you just want to have a landing page where people can find you. Okay. So Lauren, thank you. That was my concern about the academies. Wait. Okay, so that must have been something I answered. Oh, the liability insurance. Yeah, you're concerned about the liability insurance from the academy. I thought that when I had the liability insurance with the writer that covered writing, it was through Facebook groups that I found other bloggers were like, hey, I just called pro liability and they said it's not covering all the stuff I'm doing. I was like, well, shoot, why am I paying them the money if it's not covering it? Did you start a blog before an LLC or the other way around? The other way around. I started my blog in June, and I started my LL of June of 2019, and I started my business in January of 2020. And I think that was the turning point for me when I decided I was no longer going to treat blogging as a hobby, and I was going to treat blogging as a business. And that's when the game changed in so many different ways. Because when I started my blog, the perfectionist in me came out. I set these goals of I'm going to write one meaty blog article per month. It's going to be super long, all these reference articles. I'm going to make a video, an infographic, a Pinterest pin, like so many checklists that I burnt myself out just a few months into blogging, to where I think like 4th through 5th or 6th month of blogging, I didn't post any articles because I burned myself out, which is silly, but it happens, right? So in January, New Year's resolution time, I'm a big goal setter and I set big audacious goals. So that one I was like, game on. This isn't a hobby. I'm going to invest money. I actually paid for a lawyer to help me start my LLC. And I was like, I'm going to invest money in my business. I'm going to treat this like a business. I committed to writing 2 to 4 imperfect blog articles per month. And again, the game changed from there. So I started my blog before my LLC, and you don't need an LLC to start a blog. I will say, when it comes to business, you have to pay your taxes, right? Like you got to pay your taxes and you got to be ethical. And I do work with an accountant, and she helped me figure out all that stuff along the way. Oh, good. I'm so glad this was helpful for you guys. Okay, well, golly, some of you guys have been with me for a while, so thank you guys so much. If you guys have any other questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself. You can put the comments there. Absolutely schedule for a strategy session with me. I would love to chat with you guys about blogging as a business, to see if the Blogging Accelerator program would be a good fit for you. So let me see. I'm just checking my email here. Cool. Okay. Awesome. And I see a couple of you have scheduled appointments. So yay, I'm excited to chat with you. So awesome. Okay. Well, I think we are done. I'm happy to stay on as long as you guys want to stay on. I mean, I can talk about this kind of stuff for days, but if you guys are done, you can feel free to log off and we'll go ahead and wrap things up. It'll take me a while to download this video, but I will send out the replay with all of your resources. So again, thank you so much for joining me. If you have questions about Blogging Accelerator program, I would love to help you on your blog journey, and have such an amazing day. Bye, guys.